Please do not contact anyone just because of this video. Thank you. Recently, one of my public subscribers, VictorDaniel2008, announced on YouTube that he came back. I mean, I already knew he was going to return just by looking at 2 comments he left late last month, and what do you know? My suspicions were indeed confirmed. I'm Amethystis, and I'll be bringing WindowsFan2006 to look at this destroyer-long entanglement with me. Before we jump right into our responses though, we need to show his introduction. Every part of this essay that he formats as an FAQ will be dedicated to addressing the stuff shown in the callout document on him. Obviously, I will not be reading these long comments in their entirety because otherwise, I will be here all day. I'll be skipping some for the sake of my own sanity. Now that this has been said, let's check up on him first. Here's Victor's response to people who might have wondered where he was. Like I stated earlier, Victor never really left. I like how he just dismisses everything presented in WindowsFan2006's document on him as false allegations, when Vile literally provided links to the posts he included screenshots of. Next question. This segment will contain discussions of nightmares involving the suicides of real people. The segments that follow this one will contain discussions of adult content and mentions of child sexual abuse. Feel free to skip these segments or the entire video, and I'll see you later. This is his response for those wondering about the nightmare he posted about to his community tab. Victor, I get that dreams cannot be controlled, but the way you described it and the fact that real people were in it should have made you think twice before making a post about it, especially on a platform where said real people can see it.
I do agree with Amy. I do understand this nightmare is so insane and terrible to such an extent, especially because it involves suicide, but yes, you should have ensured the rethink before posting this type of dream on a public platform or area.
With that out of the way, we're going to look at some more questions he responded to. Here's his answer for people who ask him why he shared that sus content warning post someone made of 2 real people. I know he already touched on this in his response document, which I had covered in May, but I would still like to include it here because it demonstrates how regardless of his intent, sharing NSFW content to his young audience had the opposite effect to said intent. He says that WindowsFan2006 cited his sharing of the post he mentioned as proof that he was obsessed with Lunanae. Given that Victor had posted about a nightmare he had involving her, I'll let you form your own conclusions on how the two are connected. Speaking of obsessions, I'll address the next question. Why were you accused of being obsessed with NSFW content? Victor, the reason why you were being accused of being obsessed with adult material was because some of your posts showed that you were preoccupied with the subject. As for the part where you say, being obsessed with something means you like it a lot, and despising something means you hate it a lot, are you kidding yourself right now? Being obsessed with a thing does not always mean you just like that thing a lot, Victor. It can also come from a place of hatred, and your post history shows that your obsession with NSFW comes from that hatred. Hell, you even admitted it yourself as shown here.
She's right. Obsessing does not necessarily mean liking something a lot. Obsession means extreme or excessive interest in something, or something like that, which means it's independent of whether you like it or hate it.
Now let's go to the part where he addresses the image he did featuring Susie Kabuzi and Cuberman. I get that you meant the image as a joke, and I understand that you meant to make the interaction you were depicting cute, but given that Cuberman was 12 and you were 17 when you made it, I still find it creepy that you didn't think about that before posting it, especially when you account for the fact that he is a real person with feelings of his own.
Yeah, I see this as creepy, especially because I also find it a reference to the Pepe Le Pew and Penelope thing in Looney Tunes, which is also controversial, and it involves this type of abuse, which led to the cancellation of the account some years ago.
I'm not going to touch the rest of these questions because otherwise I will lose my patience. I've already seen how he handles adult content and saying it's not the best would be an understatement. I actually argued that the way he has gone about it is immature. Now let's actually wrap this video up with my thoughts on this matter. I do not know how I managed to sit here and read through all of that. I also do not know how I managed to get WindowsFan2006 to suffer through this slogfest of an FAQ. You could even say the length of his responses was ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. It got to the point where I only felt like addressing the responses relevant to the overall theme of his call-out document, because just sitting there and reading everything word for word would drive me mad. Goodbye. A couple days ago, I looked up Hank Hill and saw that his Wikipedia article had been vandalized. Here's the screenshot that I took while I was writing the script for this video. As of me recording this, the vandalism had already been reverted.